All right, so how about we talk about sex briefly? That ought to bring up a lot of questions. You know, as we stated before, you all are integrating both the divine masculine and the divine feminine in the body, and your sexual orientation or your openness to explore your sexuality with different people will also change. Also because your drive to connect is not happening at the horizontal level. You're not trying to get your connection through other people, through that dysfunctional nature that others are completing you, but rather you're going up to get that connection. You're going to find that your sex drives change, quite frankly, and that it's not connecting with another sexually for simply getting a positive hit or getting up temporarily, but rather connection and soul connection and the exchange of information. Now, when you start talking about divine masculine energy, that's a piece or a component that is in need of some healing when it comes to sexual energy, because specifically on this planet, it's pretty based. The masculine energy right now is pretty based, and a lot of it is still subjugating the feminine at a sexual nature. A lot of rape fantasies and a lot of violence towards women is still very pronounced when it comes to your industries that promote sex and sexuality. You're still seeing quite a bit of it, and especially at the underground level, there is a lot of that going on, and it's far more common than the subjugation of the masculine by the feminine. It does happen, the subjugation of the masculine by the feminine, but the other way around is far more dominant. And so there's a piece and a component that needs to be healed there. With your sexual energy, and again, this goes back to social conditioning and what was in the DNA as you went into the lower resonant fields, that it was acceptable for the masculine to partner with as many as possible, and the feminine was not. So now you are integrating, again, this idea that you are unifying yourselves. You are unifying and connecting with source energy, and then you will choose who you want to share your field with, because you will take on, or the potential for you to take on that energy is quite strong. So if you're somebody who's pretty sensitive and you're engaging in sex with somebody who is, well, to use your vernacular, a hot mess, all right? He's got a lot of the lower frequencies going on. You are opening yourself wide up, and we would say most of you are not quite honed enough just yet to be fully aware of what you're taking on that doesn't belong to you. You will take it on, and it is still a lesson. If you're taking something on, it still is serving you, all right? So you're not victimized there. It does serve you to show you that you still need to work with boundaries. And if you're drawing somebody in who is not at an elevated level, there is something for you to gain and to know that there is something in your field that calls that in or attracts that in, like attracts like. But as you open up sexually, especially at the moment of orgasm, your field is wide open, and you have a tendency, all of you, to take on stuff. And you're not clearing it out, and then that energy is in your field. As you work more with the divine masculine energy, doesn't matter whether you are in female form or male form, you will find that your sexual energy, your sexual drive is going to change. You're not going to feel driven in the same way, but when you do decide to connect, it is far, far more potent. The experience is far more pleasurable than anything that you've experienced. Because if you imagine your orgasm not lasting for very long, you can imagine going around for days like that. That your field is wide open and resonating. And so you need to do that. You can connect more within yourself. But in that sharing process with another being, there are experiences that you will still be swimming around in, that you will be observing and reading the records from. So what you consider to be sex is just creative energy. And this creative energy got split in how it was defined early with the fall of Atlantis. the sexual energy and the creative energy became separate, but they are actually one and the same. So if you think of it as creative energy, you are accessing records and just reading records and understanding about somebody else's creation, about somebody else's exploration of the physical life. And so you'll get into somebody else's experience, and it's like, well, we'd say it's a bit like reading the diary, but they've shared the diary with you. And it will help give you a broader sense of collective energy, another way of perceiving your own experiences. So it's very much a creative act. All right, you won't define it so much as sexual as in a creative sharing. It would be like showing someone your notebooks of all your paintings and drawings and writings. But it will still be a very pleasurable act. You will still have, well, there will still be a number of ways to bring another soul in or to create a family. A soul can go through the birth process. You can create organically and carry a child if that's the way that you want to create in the birth process. It is still possible as you move into 5D. There is also the possibility for you to do it in a more energetic way where you are blending energies but not creating in the same sexual way, but creating a physical form for another being, or they can choose their own and simply create a body for themselves. So there are a lot more options as you enter into 5D, and it's based on the soul who wants to come in and the contracts that you are able, the contracts that you create, and you're able to establish a connection with that being before they come in, to know which is the best way for all of you involved. And the interesting piece for you all, and this is a bit of a mind bender, is that you can have two females create a body together, or two males create a body together, or a male and a female. Right now on your planet, that seems a little bit difficult, and you're doing it with surrogacy. But you're practicing in the physical for what's to come with light bodies. And all of these experiences are simply vibrational selections to see how you can change the game up and how that changes your experience of the game. Take a breath. So as you all engage with others, we would invite you to call in divine masculine energy. Intend, all right? And it may be a little difficult for you all in the moment, we'll be honest. We'll be realistic. But you can intend. If you have the feeling that's where something is headed, and before you leave in the evening, intend. I intend to access more of my divine masculine energy as I engage in this encounter. I intend to unify my divine masculine and my divine feminine as I engage in sexual activity. Just to see what the experience is like. Is it different? Is it more? Do you like it? Do you not like it? You won't know until you try. Take a breath. Any questions about that? All right. So we've covered a lot of ground, and we know that this is a big download. It's a big energetic download, and it's the first time we've really taken some time to talk with you all about this. And we will be talking more. We're very grateful for you all having the courage to step forward and kind of explore this topic, because it's not always a comfortable one, because it can trigger so many primal issues. When we talk about other things, when we talk about financial states or ETs or other galaxies, it's often much easier than when we talk about some of this really base primal stuff. These are the things that are deeply rooted in the first chakra. And you're getting to the point now you've cleared enough of the other stuff where you can start to get there. And you may find as you start to play around with this that you can really tap into some deep wounds, some old wounds. So be very gentle with yourselves as you go through this, and know that you will clear in levels and layers None of you are going to bring everything up all at once, so don't berate yourselves when you say, why is this here again? Well, it's here again because it's time to address more of it. And eventually you'll stop addressing it. But if it's there, deal with it. All right? It's not going away unless you deal with it, acknowledge it, bring it in as part of you. See its service, and then as you start to see its service, you will let go of it or your resistance to it. It will be part of you in flow. So be very good to yourselves over the next several days. Start checking in again. How do you feel as you think about the masculine? How do you think, feel, and what are your emotional states as you think about it? How do you feel about the feminine and the balance of the two? Feel free to call on us directly. We know this is a big time, and we'll be happy to answer. So until then, we'll be watching and waiting and sending many well wishes.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's our pleasure.